and welcome to Music is Your Friend. This is a review of Dream Theater's new album called Distance Over Time. Oh boy. Before you watch the rest of this video, I just wanted to actually warn you, if you're the kind of person that thinks that Jordan Rudess or John Petrucci can do no wrong, then please do not watch the end of this video because you will be disappointed. Just watch something else. That being said, this is just gonna be a short video. I'm gonna do a long video with the title, I don't know, why does Dream Theater suck today? Or for the last 20 years for that matter. I'm gonna do a video on that real soon, so just subscribe and hit that notification button if you wanna see that video and if you wanna get notified when it's posted. Okay, so Distance Over Time, that's actually speed, right? The writing process for this 56-minute long album was 18 days. God. That's not a good sign. The producer for this album was none other than John Petrucci. Also not a good sign. I know that some of you that are gonna be watching this video will just say, but this is a really great album, it's streamlined, they are really good players. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so technically they're one of the best players around. Nobody can deny that, but you know, their ideas are actually not that cool. I actually don't want to get into the adjective progressive because there was nothing progressive about this album. In fact, I feel that it's kind of really predictable and regressive, and that's not a good thing. So I don't actually see the freshness and the, you know, new energy that some other critics have been writing about this album. All I see is actually some quite stale ideas from some quite stale musicians. I do like the album cover. It was also done by Hugh Simey as many other of their work, and nothing really too surprising about that. So one of the interesting things about this album was that the band went to a location. They basically went to a sort of a retreat studio, and then they had time to create their songs, although they only took less than 3 weeks. So it's a 9-track album plus a bonus track, and basically all of the songs have exactly the same problem. And that same problem is the duo Petrucci and Rudess. Now let me explain. John Petrucci is one of the greatest guitar players of all time. Jordan Rudess is one of the greatest keyboard players of all time. Problem is, most of their taste kind of sucks. In short, this album has some really cool riffs. I actually enjoy many of the riffs on this album, but the ideas are often just way too long. Like, okay, you have a riff, play it. You don't have to play it again for like 7 times until, you know, Jordan plays some stupid chords on the piano or something. This band just has the need to constantly play, and I get them, they're really good players, but you know, if you have something that's really guitar dense, just, you know, move. Don't play a goddamn thing, or just find something in the background, some really weird cool sound that you can play that can maybe, you know, actually provide some backing for that really thick, dense guitar part. Dream Theater kind of lost that touch, you know, that they had with Kevin Moore and that they had with Derek Sherinian even. That being said, the keyboard parts actually aren't that inspiring. And then when you go to the bass parts and the drum parts, I mean, if the whole song doesn't work, you can be like the best player in the world. And Mangini is a really good player, and actually so is John Mayung. But if the song's not good, I mean, your performance will just not pop out. And sure, you can make the drums sound better, or you can make the bass sound more punchy, and you know, you can like fiddle with the snare sound until it sounds like perfect. But if the song sucks, it's not gonna help you. And if you have like a 7-minute song and, you know, the core of the song is like 4 minutes, and you put another 3 minutes of extra playing that just makes no sense at all, that song is gonna suck. And the fact that that core of the song can be really good fades in comparison to the 3 minutes, which are kind of bull. Now I won't go into the lyrical content of this album because the lyrics are fine. It's just that the melodies for this album were so forced, like on basically every other album that Dream Theater has put out in the last 15 years, or actually more than 15 years. The vocal melodies sound awful, they sound so uninspired, they sound forced. So regardless of the lyrics, every song would sound the same. And as an old fan for Dream Theater, this is just unacceptable. Not only that, but members of the band that actually make Labríe's vocal melodies write these melodies in a key that actually does not, suit James Labríe's voice. I really like Labríe's singing. It's just that, because of the vocal melodies and all of the overdubs, he kind of sounds like a goat sometimes. It's just that the vocal line is too low for him to sing properly. So then, they just want to paste like a little overdub on top where he sings the whole melody just an octave higher. And that just sounds terrible because he actually can sing that octave higher. I mean, he can, but it just doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound like it's rolling from his mouth the way it should have. It just sounds weird. But when a vocal melody actually suits Labríe's voice, like Back on the Ground from his solo album, then you can see that there's plenty of firepower left in that old Labrie canon. Unfortunately, for the last 15 years in Dream Theater, that James Labrie canon has been shooting at the wrong things. But yeah, Metacritic gave it 82 out of 100. AllMusic gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The ratings for this album actually moved from like 7.5 out of 10, but some outlets actually gave it 10 out of 10. This just shows the hypocrisy and, the idiocy behind these different news outlets. Because if this album is 10 out of 10, then what grade would they give to Images and Words? What grade would they give to Awake? How many stars would these albums get if this album actually achieved the maximum? This just makes no sense whatsoever that these kind of stupid and bland ideas get 10 out of 10 stars like they're the pinnacle of their career when it's obvious that they're not, okay? You have the song 6 O'Clock, the drum intro that's been replicated so many times but actually never copied, like the coolest melodies ever, say in Erotomania, or stuff from Metropolis Part 1. You can make as many sequels as you want for Metropolis, but no sequel ever is actually gonna touch the original one. So again, this album is boring, it's predictable, it's not the pinnacle of Dream Theater's career. It has some really cool parts and some really cool ideas, but all of these ideas have been watered down by parts that are definitely not cool and by parts that are just plain old boring. Therefore, most of this album sounds really uninspired, and none of these songs can actually measure up to the best songs that Dream Theater has put out throughout their career. And to back up my claims about, these songs being boring, I just want to ask you a question. Do you really think that if Mike Portnoy ever returns to the band, that they would actually play any of these songs? Didn't think so. So 82 out of 100, 4 out of 5 stars, give me a break. This is the grade that this album gets. Boom.